what are those blocks that need to be filled? Where should we be going?
I think in terms of what needs to be done, and this is very well-known fact, because Kenya, we don't need new papers, we don't need new research. Everything that needs to be done is there. It's just about, as you said, implementing it fast. Is crowding out of businesses, local private businesses. When the government is borrowing every single coin from the market, then the private investors and business do not get money from the banks. The banks prefer government. Government can even print money to repay them. Government will not default. And when you do that, then the private business can't even create jobs. So the government has to look at alternative ways of raising money. And it should not just be fully in the market. Then the pending bills. The pending bills are Kenyans or businesses that took loans and carried out businesses, services or delivered goods to the government. Be it that they delivered furniture to schools, delivered medicine to KEMSA or whatever, and they've not been paid, about 700 plus billion shillings. And when those people are not being paid, that's how you're seeing them being auctioned. That's why you're seeing public trusts going down in government, and of course jobs cannot be created. So the government has to do whatever it needs to for them to repay that. I remember last time, about a few months ago, the Minister for Finance, the CS, spoke and said that the 400 billion that was owed to people from 10 million shillings and below, which brings in even youth and PWDs who've done business with government, will be paid before December. Of course, December came and December went, and the 400 billion was not paid. Actually, the only people who were paid were the road contractors through the securitization, which again was more borrowing by government, because 7 shillings from the road levy fund for the next 10 years has now been securitized into the money that was paid to them. Then thirdly, it's really just cutting wastes, because the waste and theft, plunder, corruption is all budgeted for and funded. And we have to find a way to actually cut that waste. Plans have been there. If it's about the recurrent expenditure, ghost workers, all those things, it's all clear on what actually needs to be done to cut waste. Prosecuting corruption. Cases. This term, which we are going now to 5 years, we've only seen 3 people prosecuted for corruption. One is Waitito for 25 million shillings. I think we not necessarily prosecuted, but you saw the governor for Natembea being taken to courts for 4 million shillings. And yet I think we lose 2 billion shillings a day. So when you take somebody for 4 million and
it's 3B now.
It's 3 billion per day. So again, we have to be firm, and there has to, and then making debt productive. Whatever money is, because as we are saying, return on investment. Nobody has an issue with borrowing. As long as the money, you can see where the money is going. But if you can't see where the money goes, and we're just borrowing and borrowing and borrowing, then and the president, when he came, when he was campaigning and we were with him under Kenya Kwanza, he talked about reducing borrowing. At that time we were borrowing about 600-700 billion. Now local borrowing alone is 1.1 trillion. So we've moved from 8 trillion when he came into power. Now we are 12.4